Good evening, I'm Nate Puterball with your sports update. Big news for Ohio State hoops today. They made official the signings of 5-star small forward Anthony Thompson and 4-star power forward Alex Smith for the 2026 recruiting class. As for the football Buckeyes, they have 3 players named semi-finalists for the Walter Camp Award for the best player in the country. Caleb Downs, Julian Sane, and Jeremiah Smith all making the cut. Sane was also named a semi-finalist for the Davey O'Brien Award for best quarterback in the country. In college football tonight, we've got action as Buffalo visits Central Michigan and NIU heads to UMass. In the NBA, the Cavs look to avenge their Monday night loss to the Heat. They tip off in Miami at 7:30. And the NCAA handed down punishments for Michigan State today, placing them on 3 years probation and vacating 3 years of wins due to an ineligible player. This update brought to us by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Breaking sports news when it happens to the fan. Ohio Sports Destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side, going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. I am Brandon Beam, hanging out with our quarterback friend Justin Zwick tonight. Jay-Z, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just another hump day. Oh, weekend's almost here.
That crazy.
Night game in the shoe in November, baby.
I was just talking to you, like yesterday, for the post game on Saturday. Of course, Ohio State, nice little victory over Purdue. It's fascinating to watch this team, right? Because you watch Indiana on Saturday, and they have a very close victory against Penn State. Fernando Mendoza gets all the Heisman love, and we'll talk to Joshua Perry coming up here at 6:30. We'll do the Pulse coming up here a little bit later on at 6:46. And then you watch Texas A&M, they're faking punts. Like Indiana and Texas A&M, they like to let people know that they're good. Ohio State, we do that post-game show. We get out of the Purdue game. It's like, boy, it looked a little sloppy. Bo Jackson, 70-yard running play, called back, first play of the game. JJ block in the back. Did it actually happen? I feel like Ohio State and then Indiana, Texas A&M are polar opposites at the moment. Ohio State's just kind of starting to throttle up maybe a little bit. And then the other two teams, everyone else in college football is trying to run up the score. That's not what the Buckeyes are doing this year. So.
Ohio State's like the guy who's just really quiet. And you're not really sure if you want to mess with him or not. But he's just really quiet. Maybe not. Yeah. The others are the ones who are chirping at you. Come on, let's go outside, blah, blah, blah. And they're all right, I think I can probably
dude in the corner who hasn't said a word
Who's
but
that
keeps
guy?
eyeballing
He's
me.
just watching. He's just standing there watching. I feel like that's the difference. We've just been toying with, we talk about was that a scrimmage? Were they just throwing things out there last week just to put it on tape, just to see if it worked, just to see what they thought about it?
Yeah.
And they're drawing up plays at halftime, and we're just out there trying to put things together and see what we can get. And it's been working, and we're winning. I'd imagine we're somewhere around the 38-8. Averaging.
Oh, it's whatever
wins.
It's a 30-point average.
Yeah, exactly. So we are sitting pretty, and the way they're doing it, and just keeping these reps off of these guys, it's really smart, and it's been really fun to watch. But all that other stuff, all those guys who chirp and like to score. Yeah, Texas A&M, they're up 21-7, running a fake punt for another touchdown. What are we doing against a team who has their starting quarterback out? And you have to go do that. They like those, wow plays, I guess. And we just are sitting here in Columbus saying. Yeah. We don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just win the ball game, however that looks. We want to look good.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong.
We're still trying some things, right?
Yeah,
We're working on. It's the month of November.
We're going to hit the gas at some point here this season.
You got 3 games left in the season. You're 9-0, and they're still trying things out. Yeah, 24 is the margin of victory on average for Ohio State. Indiana actually leads the country with 27.9. Again, I think that brings us back to our point. They also had a 3-point victory against Penn State on the weekend, and their margin dropped a little bit. They're down to basically 28 points. Austin Ward, he's going to join us live from the Woody coming up here at 6:17. Again, Joshua Perry at 6:30. Then we'll do the Pulse at 6:46. And then we're going to get out of here at 7 o'clock because the Inside Edge got some Jackets talk coming up a little bit later on at 7 o'clock. Offensive line, I feel like, has been a particularly interesting part of this Ohio State offense so far. You were without a couple of starters on Saturday. You're kind of mixing and matching at that right guard position, right tackle position. Here was Ryan Day yesterday in his press conference talking about the offensive line and what he thinks of it so far.
I always want him to be more consistent, yeah. But I can't sit here and say I'm disappointed right now. I'm encouraged with a lot of things that are going on up there. And if I thought it was, a real problem or a mess, I would address it. I know that we're going to get a lot more challenges here, and we're challenging these guys every day. And the backs need to continue to run better, and we need to continue to figure out ways to put them in a situation to be successful. And the angles of the blocks, we've got to keep working on that. But no, I mean, I think they're grinding on it. They're working hard. 2 of the guys graded out a champion. The other guys didn't. We upped our ante on being a champion. It used to be over 80. This past week now we're at 83% because we feel like we need to, increase our efficiency and execution. But I mean, I think there's a lot of good there. But certainly, we know what we need to, get in terms of winning a championship. So we want all those guys to grade out over 83%.
Is that not a crazy thing to you that we're 9 games into the season? And again, I believe the old saying over in the Woody is the standard is the standard, and you're upping the ante.
You're upping the standard.
You're upping the standard. You're 9 games in. You're undefeated. Yeah. Your defense looks awesome. Ryan Day probably watched that tape for the run game on Saturday and said, you know what? All these guys graded out a champion, like 81%. Nope, not good enough for us. 83%. We're going to up the ante. That way, only 2 out of the 5 are going to grade out a champion. That's a crazy thing.
It's amazing this far into the season. You know what? We got to up the ante here. Yeah. This isn't. You guys weren't champions. Yeah.
Too many stickers.
You don't get a steak. You get to eat the chicken fingers over there because you were 80% instead of 83.
Hard to be hungry when you're eating at the buffet.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But it just goes to show you how crazy Ryan's been. Not crazy. I mean, I use that word, but he's been locked in all year long and intense. And, he's actually, I think, calmed down a little bit over the last few weeks, at least in like post-game press conferences and things like that. Because he would find a play and he was like, can't have this, and like in games we're blowing people out.
I'm sure it's not that way behind closed doors.
Well, no, but I mean, he's calmed down. I mean, you hear him like the sky is not falling with the offensive line. We just got to figure out how to do things a little bit better. And, I think it was good going against Purdue. We got some young guys who hadn't been playing, some reps on that right side. You get everybody healthy, get them back, and, see what kind of rotation is this weekend. I think that'll be, telling. Tegra seemingly took, not necessarily a challenge, but he took whatever it was going into a couple weeks ago and stayed out late at practice. Austin was telling us that the 1 week and, just kind of trying to figure things out. And he played a lot, that next game. So maybe he's figuring it out. But, we have a couple games here where we can get some guys in and, continue to get that experience and, just get those guys some reps. And we'll see what that looks like going into the playoffs. Because last year we switched our guys up about now, and then I think even going into the playoff game, Luke Montgomery kind of settled in there as that guy. So there's definitely time to still get those reps and figure that out. Even though it's like Ryan said, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't look that bad, but there are plays we need to fix up. And
again, not that bad is not the standard over there. But I think when you compare it to the rest of the college football world, like Ohio State's not that bad compared to whatever other college football team you want to say, like not that bad, is a much different bar than the rest, like the entire rest of the country, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but anytime you're at Ohio State, everything is ratcheted up, I mean, it's just what the program is, and over the last 25 years, it's just shown to be what that standard is. So, I mean, when you're here, everything's ratcheted up. The teams want to beat you. It's their Super Bowl every weekend. You got to play better. You got to be better, all that stuff, because if not, and we saw it happen with Kyle McCord. Of course. We're going to go find somebody who is better. And, who is going to
he was fine. And he was fine.
11-1 as a first-year starter. Yeah. Pretty good in my eyes.
Numbers, pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So
not good enough.
Yeah, blew me away a little bit, to be honest. That was when I realized this isn't Kansas anymore. No. This isn't college football anymore. Things have changed just a little bit.
God, I'll never forget doing that show with Bob in the morning because we used to do a show from 6 to 9, and you're going to be on the Juice tomorrow with Tito. You never get breaking news in the 6 to 7 o'clock hour, like ever. We have no breaking news in the morning. It's always stuff from the night before and previewing kind of what's coming up the next day. And I'm just sitting there at 6:15 in the morning. And my Twitter feed was flooded with Kyle McCord has entered the transfer portal. I'm like, this is maybe the first time we've broken news on this show, and it was a wild ride that day. Just a total mayhem.
I thought fake news right away.
I did too.
What?
I had to double check it. I didn't want to say it out loud when it came down. I'm like, I've got to make sure that this is actually coming from Pete Thamel and not like a letter is missing in his Twitter bio. So I'm like, is this real? Yeah. Is this a real story?
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. It worked out.
No, 1,000% it worked out. But I mean, it's like to think of a first year starter going 11-1 with the ball on the road against your rival. with a chance to go score and win, and it's like, hey, guy, thanks.
You got to get out of here. you got to go.
So that's the new college football, right? So if you're not trying to get better and be the best in the country, Columbus, Ohio, maybe is not the spot for you.
No, I don't think it is. Yeah. It's not a place to live under their radar, right? Guy who obviously had a very interesting transfer saga this past spring, Nico Iamaleava. He's coming into town on Saturday for the second time within a year. He was Ryan Day on now UCLA quarterback, Nico, and him coming into the Horseshoe again twice for the second time in 1 year.
He's a tough player. He played tough in the playoff game here. I'm watching him play the last few weeks, and man, he's physical. He runs hard. He takes some shots, and he keeps coming back. And he's a competitor, man. I got a lot of respect for him as a player. He throws, got a strong arm, and he's been doing a lot for his team. And you watch him on the field; he's a warrior. We'll take all that into consideration, just and look at everything. But we know this is a great challenge for our team, and it starts with him.
Tell you what, he's a tough son of a gun. I know that. Everybody watching that Ohio State-Tennessee game last year will tell you that. Not only did he have his helmet cracked one time, he had his helmet cracked twice. And there were a lot of Tennessee players that were giving up. Like, take the whole antics out of it, like taking the shirts off before the game. I think when you play revisionist history, that was a pretty bad idea. But there were a lot of Tennessee players, I think, Jay-Z, taking themselves out of that ball game saying, I don't need to be doing this anymore. Nico Iamaleava is not that kind of a guy. He gets going. He is very tough.
And that's what you want to see out of a quarterback, right? I mean, that's you just expect that out of them. But tough player. I love Ryan talking about he's a tough runner. That I'd rather have Ryan start there than like he's going to throw the ball all over the place on us. That was where he started. So that's what they're kind of focusing on. Like we got to shut that run game down of his. But he's a 5-star guy, right? I mean, he's big time quarterback. Things didn't go so well for him. He started the season out there, but ever since coach was fired, they seemingly have found some. Yeah, I mean, they're scoring some points. Maybe not, they're not undefeated or anything, but they've been in games and they've looked a lot better than they did to start the season. So
and had that nice little
dangerous.
Yeah, nice little 3-pack of wins, right? Yeah. Penn State, when Penn State was what we thought Penn State was, and then that was a huge deal. On the road against Sparty and then home against Maryland is the only games that they won. They did get smoked at Indiana. Par for the course for Indiana, whoever they're bringing in so far this season. And then last weekend, they lost a close one, actually, to Nebraska. So I don't know. I mean, I think it should be a fine game. It's a nighttime game. It's a primetime game. The Fangs are going to be out.
Weather's going to be good. Yeah. Shoes should be rocking. It shouldn't be anything too crazy. They do have talent. They do have some players, but we've went up against most of the teams we play have a couple guys. They just don't have 22 guys like we do.
Austin Ward, he's going to join us live from the Woody coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always, trusted. Visit caresource.com.
Everyone loves Donato's legendary thin crust, but sometimes you want a little more to grab. That's where Donato's hand-tossed pizza comes in. Golden, delicious, and perfect for dipping in that ranch, marinara, or garlic butter sauce. For a limited time, Get a large one-topping hand-tossed pizza plus dipping sauce for just $9.99. Order online using promo code MORE. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Picture it. Your holiday table. The family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. Spiced cider in every glass. Laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's sunny out there, but breezy and still chilly. Temperatures right around 50 on this Wednesday afternoon. Overnight, light winds, clearing skies, temperatures down to the low 30s, and a cool, crisp start to your Thursday morning. Plenty of sunshine during the day, lighter winds, and back in the mid-50s by the afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Big believers in saying thank you when something actually works. And thank you to Awaken 180. They're saying thank you back right here in Columbus and in Ohio with $500 off every no program now through Thanksgiving. It's not too long away, folks. I started doing it around this time last year, dropped a bunch of weight. Awaken 180 works, and now is the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self, whether you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter, with the medication-free solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check in live over at the Woody. He is Austin Ward. Austin, happy Wednesday to you. What reads the big scoreboard with practice with the Bruins of UCLA coming in town on Saturday evening?
Well, believe it or not, Beamer, the scoreboard is off.
Oh.
Ohio State is practicing indoors at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center tonight. I believe last night they were outside, but tonight, you've just got this breeze blowing out there, and they've had a couple, muscle tightness issues in the last couple weeks. Maybe just, take a little night and protect yourself from the elements. That's the decision that appears to have been made by Ryan Day. So I know that Jay-Z doesn't like that in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just telling you, it wasn't my call. The Buckeyes are indoors.
I absolutely love that idea, Austin. Quarterbacks never want to go outside in the weather.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense at this time of year, right? Like, you don't have to.
No, I thought you wanted to replicate game conditions. Saturday evening is going to be lovely
on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's going to be windy. You're going to be dealing with the same things.
No, it's going to be 60 degrees on Saturday night.
Exactly. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, you don't want to go out and catch a cold
tonight.
Not
at 8 o'clock it won't be.
Oh, it's going to be gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And, you just set the – I think probably what they needed to do, you just have Quinn Temple drop the thermostat a couple degrees inside, and then you're all set right there.
Yeah,
anyway, that's the weather update from the Woody.
That's the weather update. So that you were inside, do they keep you in the lobby, or were you able to sneak some views in of what practice was going on inside the Woody? And if you were able to, can you give us any idea on what a rotation on that right side of the offensive line might look like going into Saturday night?
Yeah, so I sneak into a little bit of a hallway to talk to you guys while we're, waiting to get indoors. Mm-hmm. And when Jim Lachey walked out 5 minutes ago, I caught 15 seconds of practice footage that I wasn't supposed to see. And what did I see? Nothing. I just know that they're inside is what I got proof of there, which I already knew because we got here a couple hours ago. We were sitting in the lobby, and Berman and I were recording tomorrow's episode of The Beat, where we talked a lot about what you mentioned, Jay-Z, with what's going to happen at right guard. I've talked and I've maybe asked more questions about Tegra Strabola than anyone on this roster over the last couple months. And I'm trying to decide because, we can all see, and Ryan Day's acknowledged, that's the part where the standard has not necessarily been met. It is the quote-unquote weak part of this team. And I've almost talked myself into a 180 that's somebody has to be the quote-unquote weak part of this team. And Ohio State's offensive line has still been productive throughout the course of the year. The pass protection has been good. The run game, I think it has not been as consistently explosive as Ohio State wants, but I think that there's other explanations from that aside from Tegra Strabola. So none of this is meant to say that the door is closed, because Ryan Day certainly left it wide open for Josh Padilla if he's healthy this week, and we'll see shortly coming off the practice field what his status is. Ethan Onyanwa got some reps both at tackle and guard last week. Gabe Van Sickle got involved at right guard last week against Purdue. They're trying all these things, but you're also running out of opportunities to do that. You have UCLA and Rutgers, and then you're heading up to the Big House, and then you have a potential Big Ten championship game in the playoff after that. You don't want to keep tinkering at this time of year. At the same time, Ohio State rotated in the college football playoff against Tennessee in the horseshoe in December last year. So, I wish I had a clear, definitive answer on that, and I definitely know that Ryan Day wishes he had one too.
He is Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Austin, we were listening to Ryan Day in the first segment. You were at his media availability yesterday. You're going to get a lightning round coming up at the Woody this evening. We were just talking about the upgrade from an 80% grade out champion to now 83% is the standard for Ohio State to grade players out a champion. Why do you believe that was the case? And it was specifically on the heels of him talking about the offensive line.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection of several things, Beamer, that, the standard and the expectation to get on the field once you get into these last few games, it's going to be higher than it is in September or against the non-conference opponent. And I think it's another way that Ohio State can, and Ryan Day specifically, can get the attention of his team. You are getting to the time of year where you shouldn't be making as many mistakes. You should have learned from the experience. You've had a ton of practice opportunities. You've had in-game reps to evaluate, and you're not going to continue to accept a B- effort as good enough if you're trying to win a national championship. And at the same time, I think it is, you're getting into these games where you're playing Purdue, you're playing UCLA, you're playing Rutgers, and Ohio State could potentially just, have that sense of complacency and roll the helmet out there, and they're going to win almost by default against this level of competition. They're 32-point favorites on Saturday against UCLA. They're going to be similar against Rutgers the following week. So how do you maintain some of that sharpness? You make it, you add some urgency on the internal grade book and say that this is how it's going to be evaluated. It's not about the scoreboard to Ohio State. We've heard Ryan Day make that point a lot, which is not about winning or losing. It's about style points that he's discounting for his team. So that's another way of getting to that, what your assignment is, execute that 1 or 2 or 3% better if you want to continue to eat those nice meals and get new equipment on Sunday nights, and if you want to have more playing time and opportunities down the stretch.
Yeah, Austin, UCLA coming into town. I imagine most of these guys first time to the shoe. Nico's the only one that has been here before and played. Is there any chance that they can put something together? We saw the Penn State game when Penn State was relatively still 100%. That was out at their place out in California, so that's a little different. They're traveling here. Does this team, Ryan, we heard earlier, he talked about in his press conference, the legs on Nico and, wanted to be able to stop that. And he also, talked about his ability to throw the ball. But can they put anything together? Or is this just like, the last couple games we've had where we just got to go out and take care of us and, they can't compete for 4 quarters?
Yeah, it's interesting because, Nico, part of the reason he left Tennessee was that he was, or the understanding or the reporting around that was that, he wanted some upgrades on the offensive line. He wanted to be surrounded by more talent. That was a talented Tennessee team that came into the Horseshoe last year, and some of them, tapped out. And he was one of the few guys on that field who met the moment. I know for an absolute fact that the way he played and battled in that game resonated in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and that's why he still continues to have the attention of Ryan Day, why Matt Patricia has been, working diligently to put together a plan and handle another dual threat quarterback. But, Nico wound up going to a situation where he has far less talent around him, and he is essentially a one-man show. And that is no blueprint for trying to beat one of the most talented, if not the most talented teams in the country in their own place, especially after they've already handled you once before. Now, the way that they defend Nico, I think, is probably going to be a little bit different than Jim Knowles and the Silver Bullets did a year ago. And we've seen this now a couple times with, Damon Williams at Washington or Parker Navarro at Ohio, or even last week with Ryan Brown at Purdue, that it's a lot of this caging them in and not allowing the escape patches and a dual threat to use their legs. So I think that's going to make things pretty difficult for the Bruins because they don't have a running game that should really, threaten Ohio State in terms of their running backs, and they don't have many targets who can be able to find much success against Ohio State's secondary. So if Nico is it, I think he's probably going to have a pretty difficult time on Saturday night.
How excited are you to get back in the Horseshoe for the final primetime game of the season, at least here in Columbus, Austin?
Well, we're making history, Beamer. This is the 3rd season in Ohio State history with 3 home night games. And we were told all
the ones that you wanted them to be, too.
All the big ones.
You take what you can get, right? I mean, beggars can't be choosers, and the people wanted to have opportunities to tailgate. Yeah. And they, have that chance one last time. I do think next week it's going to be 3:30. If I had to guess, they took the 6-day window, so you still have some opportunity to pregame tailgate and do all that stuff for the Rutgers game and Senior Day. But I mean, every opportunity to get back in the Horseshoe is a great one, Beamer, and I'm looking forward to it.
Austin, always appreciate the time. Have a great time over at the Woody tonight, and I will talk to you tomorrow for an hour-long show. All right?
Woo-hoo-hoo! I'll see you there.
There he goes, Austin Ward, live from the Woody here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Why does Joshua Perry hate Fernando Mendoza in Indiana so much? We'll ask him coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Winter will be here before you know it, and that means it's time to get your heating and plumbing systems maintained. Our True Comfort membership is designed to keep things in tip-top shape. Thank you for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $4,000. Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized Ricoh dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked in to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Justin Zwick tonight. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with our great friend. He is on the big desk on NBC. Actually get to see him coming up on Saturday. He is Joshua Perry. JP, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Why do you hate Indiana and Fernando Mendoza so much? Says one Twitter user, QB Whisperer, because I thought you made some very good points, Joshua, about Fernando Mendoza in his Heisman campaign coming against a winless Penn State team. Happy Wednesday, buddy. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate you guys. It's one of the more insane things. Like, this is part of the trying to cut through in the media space part, because it's like every Indiana fan forgot all the complimentary things I've said about them over the last 2 years. Like, I have zero hate in my heart for Indiana or Fernando Mendoza. I was a fan of his when they got him out of the portal. I'm like, nobody watched Cal football. I knew he was going to be good.
You said it on this show in the springtime. I vividly remember.
Yes. Their defensive coordinator was our linebacker GA in 2013, by the way. So I've known Brian Haynes for over a decade. I respect the hell out the guy. But here's the reality of the situation. I cannot say that somebody had a Heisman moment against a team that lost 6 straight games, 6 straight losses right there. And in 4 of the 6 losses, they held a lead under 5 minutes and couldn't win the game. Like, they're generational chokers over there in State College. So, like, I don't think any less of him. He's top 3 on my list, but, like, crowning the dude after that completely insane thing that a lot of people in my industry did. And I'm like, let's have a little bit of sense about this.
There's no sense nowadays. Yeah. You know, it's one catch in the back of the end zone, and he wins a Heisman. He needed one drive to beat a team, like you said, who's lost 6 in a row.
Yeah, listen, I'm not taking away anything from Fernando Mendoza. His season has been unbelievable, and what Kurt Cignetti and Indiana are doing is great, but it's not like he threw for 500 yards and it was an all-time shootout that his defense let him down. Like, he was bad in that game, but he was very good on the last drive of it, JP.
He went 9 for 19 in the second half of that football game. He threw an interception that directly led to points. And we're letting 1 minute and 40 seconds of one game. Like, that's the thing. By the way, Charlie Becker, great catch on the sideline. If he doesn't get the toe tap down there, I don't know what happens. Omar Cooper Jr., they're calling it the catch of the year. So we got a catch of the year, but it's also his Heisman statement drive. Like, I don't know if you can – because people are saying that Julian's being lifted by his guys. Okay. So if you're getting lifted by somebody off the catch of the year, how is that your Heisman statement? Like, it's just a ridiculous thing. I need people to look at the full data set. And the Heisman moments thing, I'm not a Heisman voter. I wish I was. That is one of the most overrated things to me, by the way. Like we have so much data. The season is so long. And people are, like, dying for a moment, and especially in a year where there just haven't been a ton, it's out of bounds to me right now.
Great friend of the program, Spencer Holbrook, I thought had a really good tweet about this last night, JP, where he said, I guess Julian Sand needs to play bad in order to manufacture a moment for himself where Ohio State needs to go on a 2-minute drive to win the game. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to play itself out. But
even if he does throw that touchdown, it's Jeremiah Smith caught the ball, not Mendoza. Not Mendoza. You know, like, we had to go look up who the receiver for Indiana was because it was just all about the quarterback. It's like the guy made a great catch in the back of the end zone.
By the way, this is the other part about it, too, because that's the whole knock on Julian. They're like, oh, well, look at who he's throwing it to. Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt are draft picks. They're probably day 2 guys. Cooper is a smaller dude, so maybe people won't like him. He's going to be a very productive NFL player. They're acting like this guy is throwing to nobody out there. And, like, that might be one of the biggest travesties out of this whole thing is acting like it's Fernando and just a whole bunch of dudes who can't play ball.
Exactly.
Like, he's throwing to draft picks.
Yeah, the island of misfit toys, right? That's such a big upset story. He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. JP, we've obviously touched on Indiana so far. Texas A&M out there running up the score as well. It does feel like Ohio State is just kind of idling now. There's 3 games left in the season. Ryan Day upping the ante, 80% to 83% now to grade out a champion. Jay-Z and I started the show like they're kind of the quiet dude in the corner who's giving you eyeballs, not like a mouthy person that says, like, let's go outside and take this thing to the street. I think Ohio State, obviously, very, very dangerous right now with the way that they're limiting their offense. They're saving plays on the defensive legs. It's just, it may not look crazy because you're not blowing people out 70-3 or whatever the final score is, but they look very dangerous.
They are very dangerous. And like your analogy there, it's always the loud dude at the bar. It's like, you punch him and he's the first one to fold. It's the quiet guy that you got to be worried about. This is a team that I think decided a while ago that they don't care for the style points. I think Ohio State understands between the talent on that roster, their ability to just go out there and win games, but also kind of like the brand. It would take a lot for them to not get into a 12-team field, right? And so this idea of we need style points, no, you don't. You just need to win games and then go on, play in the Big Ten championship, win that. Like, that secures everything. But when it comes down to that, people box score watch and they'll be like, oh, didn't score a ton of points, or, this guy wasn't that productive, that guy wasn't that productive. If you watch the game tape, they're handling business exactly the way that they would want to. I think there's probably a question about this offensive line and, can they continue to get better? If you're going to nitpick about different things, that would be it. But, it's Jeremiah comes up with the plays when he needs to. I know Carnell was out this past weekend, but he has been phenomenal. The running back room, they figured out a good rotation, letting the young guys get the ball in the field, and they bring in Donaldson. He is a sledgehammer when they need to get a couple yards, which is great. They're rolling the tight ends in there. And then defensively, they've been as stout as we've seen in a very long time. So, it's not sexy, right? You're not getting credit for style points and looking good on the scoreboard, but you flip on the game tape and it's like, you guys just handling business.
Yep. JP, I don't think we've had you for a couple weeks since the college football playoff rankings were sent out. Who's one team that you don't think should be in that top 12?
So that's a toughie.
That's a specific question. Just throwing it on you. Yeah. But I have mine. But I've been thinking about it.
I'm somewhere in between. I've never been in on the Oklahoma thing. I know BYU's got the record, but it feels like their pathway to victory super narrow. Outside of that, I think I'm generally fine. It's going to play its way out. I'll give you my commentary on the playoff, though. I think it's a dumb system. And I've said this since its inception. But, for example, Miami, their path to getting to the ACC championship is pretty narrow at this point. But they have to slot them in the bracket because they're the highest-ranked team in the ACC. They might not even be able to get the auto bid from that conference. As a matter of fact, we could be looking at a situation where a 4-loss Duke team ends up winning that conference, and there might be 2 Group of 5 champions at the end of the year that could be ranked ahead of them that would actually get the auto bid instead of Duke. And then you would actually have Miami in there as an at-large, as the only representative from the ACC. You tell me how this makes sense as a postseason structure that's supposed to crown a champion, right? I know that's chaos, right? Complete chaos if that happens. But you tell me how in any world this makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. And I think last year, too, we were trying to figure out the seedings and everything. And this year, I think we're a little bit more confused. What else around college football, JP, is interesting to you? I know we've got a lot of fans in the YouTube chat here. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show on YouTube that are pretty mind-boggled about the Michigan State situation that just came out a few hours ago. Mel Tucker, show cause penalty. They vacated wins for 3 years. The one team in the state that you were going to do that to, and nobody, I didn't even know that there was an active NCAA investigation open against Michigan State.
Mel Tucker getting a show cause is hilarious because that man is never coaching again. They had to do it, I guess. The idea of the standard for vacating wins for the NCAA feels so outdated where it's ineligible player right away, we're going to vacate wins, but like you could come up with this, widespread spy network.
Exactly.
Trying to like gain an advantage unfairly in games and like, oh no, but like you didn't have anybody ineligible out there, so we can't vacate the wins. Like that's idiotic to me. Another thing that caught my attention that really bothered me was Pat Narduzzi.
I saw it.
His comment, I feel like, was more of a commentary about Notre Dame being an independent. Everybody, Joey McGuire did it like join a conference, whatever. But to say that you could lose by 100 points and it doesn't matter in a ranked matchup in November when game day is coming to campus, that pisses me off, guys.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday when he made that statement. I'm like, I can't believe you said that out loud. It's one thing to think it, right? Like internally, it's okay. Like
inner circle.
This game doesn't really mean anything to us. Like we're worried about the ACC, but then to say it out loud in front of a microphone on the podium as the head coach of the team who is hosting game day was a very wild thing for him to actually say out loud.
So this goes back to my disdain for the postseason structure because in, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, let's say, this would have just been a great ranked matchup between two teams that have a ton of history, and nobody would have been asking about the implications on the postseason and, like, is this a knockout game for one team, and is this a must-win for you? Like, we would have just enjoyed the fact that this was a ranked matchup in November, which we have done for, like, the history of the sport since they started ranking people. But now we have this bloated playoff, and now every game has to have playoff implications. And Narduzzi told the truth, where it's like, guys, the only reason we're still in the mix in the first place is because we have a path to win our conference. We don't give a damn what happens against Notre Dame. And I feel like more people need to call this thing for what it is. It's a ridiculous postseason structure.
But the game means everything to Notre Dame, though. You put that shoe on the opposite foot, and Marcus Freeman probably won't.
To Notre Dame, and the other side does not care. Like that's the problem with this.
I'm with you. I'm with you, too. Notre Dame loses their first two games out of the year and then beats up on nobody and is 10th in the playoff system as well. So, I don't know. It's crazy. JP, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on. Have a lovely rest of your Wednesday evening, and we'll check in again down the road, all right?
Thanks for letting me up onto my phone for a few minutes, guys. Appreciate it.
There he goes. Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We just talked about the Michigan State stuff. Nate will fill you in on why Sparty got hammered by the NCAA coming up in the Pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Colin Man here. Buy 2 windows and get 2 free and 36 months of 0% financing plus a bonus $1,000 off. Restrictions apply. Give them a call, 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry this holiday season, from the biggest retailers and best brands, all while earning you free gas and groceries. Stop in our stores for bonus perk offers on gift cards. Give the gift everyone wants, and get a little something for yourself, too. The holidays are magical at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corollas and Corolla hybrids. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Ryan Day's Buckeyes are back at the shoe for a Big Ten battle with UCLA.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 2 with the kick at 7:30.
Every game, every season, proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, we got Thanksgiving coming up. Big believer in saying thank you. So thank you to Awaken 180. And they're saying thank you back right here in Columbus, Ohio, wherever you're listening from. $500 off every new program now through Thanksgiving. Awaken 180 works, and now's the time to do it again with $500 off. Thank your new self, whether you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter, with a medication-free solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. Inside Edge coming up here at 7 o'clock tonight. Nate, we were just talking to Joshua Perry about the Michigan State situation. Why don't you fill us in as to how Michigan State got here, because it shocked me today when I was reading about this.
There's an old saying by the great Jerry Tarkanian, the NCAA is so mad at Kentucky, they're going to give Cleveland State another year of probation.
All-time quote by him.
Michigan State is in trouble with the NCAA. They're so in trouble for ineligible players. I've spent the last 20 minutes looking up online. I can find no trace of who these players are that were investigated.
There you go.
But yes, due to ineligible players, they have received 3 years of probation. They have vacated all of their wins from the 2022 to 2024 seasons. They're fined $30,000, and then there's, show causes for everyone on that staff, including a former Ohio State brief staffer.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild situation, right? The violations, and I was reading this from Pete Thamel of ESPN, violations occurred due to the participation of 3 ineligible players. No mention of who the players are.
No idea who they are.
No stories have their names. Yeah, work share if they were played in 60% of the games. The Spartans will vacate 14 wins from the past seasons. Michigan State will also be penalized $30,000 plus 1.5% of the football program's budget for last season, I guess. They will also face restrictions on official and unofficial visits, recruiting communications, recruiting person days, and off-campus recruiting contacts and evaluations over the probationary period. The school, Michigan State, they were the ones who came to the NCAA with these violations and said, hey,
This is going on.
We're doing things wrong. Like, we want to self-report. I just find it hilarious, crazy, whatever adjective, superlative that you want to use, that on one hand, you have Michigan, Okay, we know the Stallion story. We don't need to get into it again. Unwilling to talk to the NCAA at all, right? Like,
Nobody
no,
did,
we're
right?
not talking to you. We're not reporting this. Come find us. Come talk to us, investigate, and you get pretty much nothing. Michigan State says, hey, we're thinking about firing Mel Tucker for cause. Here's some things that he's doing. Maybe you should investigate us. Here's our findings of the situation. And you get a way harsher penalty than what Michigan did of them not reporting anything. I think there's a lesson to be learned here. If the NCAA comes a knocking, don't answer them, and certainly don't go talk to them first.
No, I wouldn't use the NCAA for anything if I was a college. But I will say this: 14 is a bigger number than I thought they were going to be vacating. Because I didn't figure they won that many games throughout those 3 years.
I didn't know that this was going on.
Nobody did.
I had no idea that Michigan State was under NCAA investigation. And then, like everyone today, I pull up my Twitter page. And I'm like, oh, Michigan State. What happened? I didn't think that Mel Tucker's indiscretions, which ended up getting him fired, were an NCAA violation. Sure, maybe a lack of poor judgment from him, of course. All right, I thought that was the reason. And then we go on to find this out.
I saw a comment on Twitter that just hurt me in my soul. It was like from a Michigan fan. They're like, it's like all these years of investigations and Ohio State still lost in November and Michigan State gets to vacate all their wins over the last 3 years.
I know, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I saw Dan Wetzel had a great comment. He said, I understand why this happened. Michigan State chose not to fight, perhaps to bolster the show cause firing of Mel Tucker to save themselves money. However, by giving $10,000 to 6 players, Michigan State got stiffer penalties, including vacated wins, than Michigan in all of its various infraction cases. And included among the vacated wins was the Central Michigan game where Connor Stallions was wearing the glasses on the sideline.
Yes.
That's college football in a nutshell, baby.
This puts a bow on it right there. That's amazing,
nuts.
Isn't it?
It is nuts. Again, had no idea that any of this was happening. Nate, what else you got for us tonight?
Well, of course, a bunch of people have been fired over the last couple of months, and Jed Fish of Washington was asked about it during his press conference this week by Christian Capel of On Montlake. Jed turned around and said, yeah, I would say those lists are made by people that have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's Jed Fish, and you and I were talking about this, Justin. I think it was Saturday or maybe it was last week. Like, I mean, we know that the internet exists, and rumors, of course, exist on the internet. That's where they live at. That his wife wasn't happy in Seattle.
His wife's living in Arizona.
They're moving back,
Seattle.
right? Like all these different crazy things that she might not.
Well, he actually came out and said, my wife is there because my 16-year-old has been through 5 different schools, and we just wanted to, so he did put that to rest. But then I kept reading, and I'm like, he's been to 14 different schools since 1999. So it's like, so maybe it's not.
What's one more?
It's not crazy for people to think, you might bounce around again.
Yeah, what's one more move, right?
And I think he was from Florida or something along those lines.
Yeah, and again, the whole situation with Jed Fish, and I obviously, like, he's going to be linked to programs, especially with Matt Rule getting a contract extension done and Kurt Signetti, and looks like the job market, the job hiring pool is kind of shrinking by the minute in college football with all these jobs being opened. Of course, he's going to be linked to these jobs, but you look at Washington, man. Again, I've been to Seattle one time, not downtown. I was there to play golf. I was only there for about 6 hours. But what you see on TV and the sailgating and in-game atmosphere, stadium that they've got there, they have a good season. That's a program that's on the build. Again, we don't need to talk about college football and the big jobs anymore and how it takes 2 to 3 years to rebuild anywhere you go because you got players leaving and are you bringing people over? I mean, it's just mayhem. A Washington gig seems like a pretty good job.
No, it looked beautiful, just the TV coverage of the area.
Yeah.
But then he went on to talk in the article. It's like, I got a quarterback who might be here for another year or two. I got 6 or 7 freshmen that we're playing right now. The future is bright.
Really
why would I want to leave? And maybe he is telling the truth because it is a beautiful place. It looked like it anyways. And, if he's got some young guys he feels good about, why pick up and move again?
Yeah, I'm with you. And then you had the whole Brian Kelly situation, which was just...
I don't even know what... It's like you fire a guy, but you don't fire it. Is it like the Office Space where the guy, they just move him to the basement?
Yeah, we fixed the glitch. Yeah, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to set the building on fire. Is what I'm doing. I don't know, man. You've got that going on. You had the whole governor interaction that came down from Louisiana. Situation. And now you've got LSU suing Brian Kelly. And you've got Brian Kelly then suing the school back for what he's owed. That job now, and I know that obviously it's got everything that you could possibly want to succeed as a football gig.
It's a mess.
But all the other things that are coming along with the LSU job now makes that,
It's
at least
not-
from the outside
it's-
looking
yeah,
in, not a very desirable place.
There's just so much extra stuff going on, and none of it makes a whole lot of sense. So if you're a coach, you're like, I don't want to get into that mess down there.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to pay me $13 million a year? Like, I can go to State College and make $12 million a year and be just fine over there.
I like the idea from Brian Kelly that they did not formally terminate him, which is why he can sue. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not coaching this weekend.
Don't come into the office on Saturday. How's that work?
You never gave me like a formal HR.
My name is still on the head coach's
There were no
door.
3 strikes before you fired me.
It's a mess.
It is a mess.
It is.
How
a
do you
total
do
mess.
that as a program like that?
You don't formally
how do you fumble the firing of your coach?
It reminds me
It's
of
amazing.
a couple of years ago, and it's I don't even 8 or 9 years ago now. The NFL trade deadline. Remember when the Browns tried to trade for AJ McCarron, but their fax machine was broken, and they didn't get it in before the deadline? Like it kind of reminds me of that situation. Like, all right, so you let Brian Kelly go, but you didn't officially fire him. It makes no sense.
The automatic withdrawals were still hitting his account, and they're like, "Hey, what happened here?"
Jay-Z, had a great time with you here this evening. I will see you next Wednesday. I will not talk to you post game.
I know, I'm gonna
on
miss you
Saturday.
this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too. It's all right. It's gonna be like 1 a.m. So you'll be long asleep.
I'll
by
be
the time.
long asleep by then. Yeah.
Everybody have an awesome night. Austin is in with me tomorrow. The Inside Edge is up next on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.